Welcome everyone out to Baconsale. It's a BaconBit of
Independence Day Resurgence.
ID42, as we've been calling it.
That's what we've been calling it constantly.
Yes, ID42.
We've been talking about it for weeks, just calling it ID4.
This is one of those movies. Yeah, this is one of those movies that we have been talking about for a while, and not necessarily in a good way.
I'm thinking back to our summer preview show, and I believe it was at least on 2 of our 3 movies that we wanted to bomb.
Yeah,
I mean, in our top or bottom 5 somewhere. Joel, did you? Joel, did it?
It wasn't.
Did you guys have it?
No.
I did. I think I had it in mind of
it ran just middle for me. I didn't want it to bomb. I didn't really want to see it either.
It seemed like a cash grab to me, but
I think it was my number 4.
What? What do you mean?
So
you mean this was made for mass audiences?
So we decided we wanted to go see it. So we wanted to go to the critical screening, where they screen it for critics and let them all see it ahead of time. What happened, Kent?
Well, they canceled it.
They didn't. They didn't just not do it. They canceled it.
Yes.
So they had it scheduled like, hey, this is when you're going to see Independence Day.
Well, it's kind of like save the date. It's going to happen the week before because this is one of the biggest movies of the summer.
Send you little invitations in the mail with a little save the date on it.
Not quite. I wish. But no, it wasn't screened. And generally, as a critic, you see that with horror films all the time.
Yeah, because they know that critics aren't going to like horror films, but audiences will still eat it up.
Yes.
And I mean, that's for those of you that don't know, whenever a movie isn't screened for critics, it's one of 2 things. Either they're worried it's going to get panned, or they don't care what the critics think and it's going to make money no matter what.
Right. Sometimes movies are critic-proof, but even then they'll have critics see them. I mean, I'm talking the Dark Knight trilogy. Mm-hmm. Those were screened. The Hunger Games movies, they were screened. Star Wars was even screened for a few people. And so...
But not very much.
They still want to have... they still want to have the good mojo out there.
They want buzz. They want people talking about it. But this movie, no.
But they don't want people talking about it,
Yeah.
bad.
So, yeah.
Except unless you make Ghostbusters, then you want people to speak poorly of it, and that's good marketing.
Because that's bad publicity. Any publicity is good publicity, right?
I guess.
Blah, blah, blah. All right, let's get to our ranks.
So the first few minutes are going to be spoiler-free.
Like 5 minutes, maybe?
Probably. There's not much to say. And then the rest of the Bacon Bit will be spoiler-full.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen the movie, that's fine. You can listen to this first little bit, and then you can turn it off, and then you can listen to it again after you've seen it.
And I think we're probably in agreement. The first part is going to be quite short.
Probably.
And then we're going to go off on the movie.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be fun.
We're going to review it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say go off.
You don't know how I feel about it.
You guys don't know how I feel either.
Okay. Oh, that's another thing we should mention. Normally, after watching one of these screenings together, we have to wait a day or 2 before we talk about our feelings.
Yeah, but when you can hear Kent snickering with Emily for the first, 30 minutes of the movie.
But what I'm saying is...
it's funny. It was very funny.
This is a Baconsale first, though. This is a Baconsale first that we literally just left the theater and came right in here to record. No time to really prepare or talk about it. We're diving right into it, and our feelings are raw.
No, I think I went first last time, right?
I think you did.
So who wants first this round?
I'll go first.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Spoiler-free Kenny D review.
Yeah, that almost rhymed.
This is a Kenny D review.
Okay.
This is maybe the worst summer blockbuster I have seen in, let's say, 14 years.
That bad.
That bad. This is not only the worst sequel I've seen in a long time, but it is one of the worst summer blockbuster movies ever made.
Really?
Yeah, this movie, I'm coming out with my grade for keeping this short, is an F.
An F?
An F.
You'd give it an F.
Yeah.
My favorite movie of the summer. And
I thought you said we didn't know your opinion.
Right. Oh, was that clear?
Can you give us any details on why you feel that way in a spoiler-free setting? Like, briefly.
Like Jake said, I was laughing, but it wasn't that it was so bad it was good. It was to kind of relieve myself of some, insanity.
And we've told him to stop relieving himself in the theater, but he just keeps going.
It's kind of like, you have to let out some pus to clean a wound.
Oh, God.
That's what it felt like.
You're saying that because I have a zit on my face right now.
I wasn't going to say anything. You could put some makeup on that. I could teach you if you want.
Only if I'm going to meet Kate Baconsale.
Right. But I sat there and it was just stressful how much I hated this movie, and I couldn't really believe what was happening on screen. The entire time, it felt like someone was watching a screensaver based on Independence Day.
Wow.
Because there was no life. It was the most hollow movie in a long, long time. Scene went from scene to scene without anyone caring how people got there or how the action got there. It just happened in front of people and basically on a green screen. There was no life to it. The end.
Wow.
F.
Wow.
Wait, so are you recommending the movie?
Should people see it?
Generally, I'm like, oh, that was so bad it was good. Go see it. go see The Shallows because it's a shark movie and it's a creature feature and it's dumb, but you're going to have a little bit of fun.
This movie, no.
No.
All right, let's go to Joel.
All right, going to me? Wow, Kent, I can't believe you said that because I'm going to have to disagree a little bit.
A little bit.
Because I think this is a D. Not enough. Because there were moments when I was like, wow, how are they going to get out of this? But
okay, we'll save it.
But I believe, here's my review. I believe that the screenwriters thought they were writing this movie for stupid people. Because things were spelled out to a ridiculous degree.
Yes.
Where they would show the action, then they would talk about the action, then they would refer to the action.
Yes.
They were nonstop spoon-feeding the audience with, hey, doesn't matter anything else. This is what's happening right now. Just pay attention here because this is what's happening. It was just cram full of characters I didn't care about, doing things I didn't care about.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what do you mean? How could there be characters you don't care about? Because you saw every single character in this movie 20 years ago. How could you not care about them?
Because I just didn't care. And then they try to throw in a new character, and I'm like, who are you? Why do I care about you?
Yeah.
And I couldn't get, I felt so cynical because I was like, I kept being like, I got to give it a chance. But then I think hollow is the right word.
Yeah.
It just felt like noise.
I was watching you during the movie.
How is that possible?
Disturbing.
First of all,
because I was laying my head to the side because we were in a theater where we could lay down.
Right.
I was trying to sleep a little
bit. He was
bit.
cuddling up next to me.
And I was looking at you, and you were just straight faced. Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't really break it.
Well, I was trying to be,
and
he broke a couple of times.
I did break.
He was very silent.
Every time I giggled, Jacob would turn. He was sitting right next to me, so he'd look at me like, "Oh, I heard that."
Yeah, I did.
And I'd go, "Oh, dang it, I broke."
So why a D? Because I feel like you're being generous.
I got a D because there were moments when I was like, wow, that's actually, like, how are they going to get out of this? They didn't get out of it the way I wanted to, but they got out of it, fine. In a way.
In a way.
I think some of the concepts were okay, but really this is one I hope to never see again. And I'm going to say it's one of those Matrix type things where I'm like, there's this movie and there's no sequels, and that's the way it is.
Fair.
And so I'm not going to see it again. Jacob?
Yeah, all right. So compared to yours, I really liked it. Grade first, I'm giving it a C.
Wow, that's what you wanted. No, you wanted at least a C plus.
C plus is what I wanted.
That's what you were hoping for.
C plus is what I wanted.
You're giving this a C.
I'm giving this a C. And
that's average. I hope you know that's average.
I do know it's average. And here, let me tell you guys where I think you're off. Right? I think it's true to the original. And the 1996 one was stupid. It was a B movie. It was ridiculous. It was nonsensical. It was noisy, and it was loud, and it was dumb, and it was spoon feeding everyone.
No.
My goodness, it was dumb.
I disagree.
And I still enjoyed it.
Can I stop you?
In the middle of my review?
1 year ago, you were like, no, I watched Independence Day last week, and I really liked it. And so much, you were defending Joel in his case for the most American movie ever.
Which it is.
First, I'm pretty sure.
Which is the second one.
I didn't say I watched it.
And I was arguing the side that it was nonsensical.
What's the second one tonight, is what you're saying.
Yes. I was arguing that it was really stupid, that it was pandering all the way.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What grade do you guys give Evil Dead 2? Or Evil Dead?
Well, Evil Dead's different than Evil Dead 2.
Yes.
Evil Dead 2. What grade?
B plus.
C.
C?
C minus.
For me, it's an Evil Dead 2 experience.
No.
Because
you're insane.
There's no camp. There was no camp in this movie.
It was pure camp. Here's where your filter is wrong.
What are you talking about?
You went in thinking it was real.
No.
It's not. It's camp. It was camp through and through. It was nonsense.
I don't think you understand that word.
I
know
do
you
understand
don't.
camp.
They took it seriously.
You keep saying that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
They did not take it seriously. There was a child
Whoa.
darn it.
Should we get into spoiler full?
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to wrap up?
All right, no, we're going to wrap up first. If you liked the 1996 movie, and
which I did,
and you still want more of it. That's really my thing. If you like the 96 version and you still would like more, watch the movie.
I disagree. If you like the original one, don't watch this.
Leave it alone.
Just watch the old one again. Enjoy it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Write some fan fiction.
All right, this is going to the spoiler-free review.
Welcome to spoiler territory.
Woo! Okay, now we are going to spoil the movie and hopefully not take too long because I tell you what, I don't want to talk about it too much.
Yeah, that's true. So there's a little boy at the end flicking or pulling goo off Mother Brain.
Yeah.
What do they call her? Mother something?
She's the queen.
Mother
it's
Queen.
a hive queen.
Was it Mother Queen
man.
or just Hive Queen?
Can I just say, Hey, what's all those infrared things? Those obviously are aliens. What's that big one? I think it's the Queen. Wow, we jumped right to that?
Every time they showed they were in the military complex, half of this movie were people staring at screens.
Oh, man.
And I'm not just talking the audience.
No.
They were going like this.
Yes,
look at that.
Everyone in the theater was looking at a screen. That's true.
Look at that.
Okay.
Oh, it better be code red. That must be the evil queen.
Oh, I know. Like, honestly, I just imagine these people, like you said, sitting in a green screen room going, yep, I'm looking at things and pointing. But I love that this is a magical world.
Okay.
Where everyone's a pilot, everyone's a soldier, and everyone can communicate with everyone, even after an EMP. It's like when they just radio them and they're like, hey, we killed him.
They never said it was an EMP.
Well, no, it looked like when they hit
No. When they hit the thing, it just destroyed the satellites. It wasn't an EMP.
No. The EMP, like they got the planes. When they were in the alien ship, the EMP hits, their planes start failing, and they're still communicating with one another. And then they do the EMP over the Earth, and they're like, we can't use our regular
They never
stuff.
said either of those were EMPs.
But it knocked out their satellite. It knocked out their radio
it didn't knock
communications.
out them. It destroyed them. It
the
blew them up.
beauty of your camp is they don't explain anything.
That's true.
My
And
point
it's
being,
not meant to be funny. It is
that
not
too.
meant to be
But
funny.
my point being is they have to go to these CB radios to communicate with the entire Earth, who the entire Earth is listening. But at the end, when they're like, we got her, sir, and all the soldiers that are standing around the base are like, yeah. I'm like, how did they get the message? We're barely communicating with one
Can
another.
I tell you what the first movie did right and this one did absolutely wrong? The first movie puts us at risk. It is Earth as we know it.
Right.
And there is all of a sudden this hovering UFO, and it's like, oh no, they're going to blow us up. This movie sends us to some fantastical world where we have used the alien technology. This world's not recognizable to anyone. And then all of a sudden we get attacked again, and it just feels like it may as well be taking place in Middle Earth.
Well, no, you have to just follow the line of the movie because it was us to begin with.
I
but
couldn't because
now it's 20 years later in a different reality.
I was actually okay with the alien technology advancing our technology. I just hated that that their technology didn't advance that much in the 20 years. Like,
I mean,
we
your complaint
advanced.
can't be
It was
that
nice they were still using Dells in this advanced
Yeah, I didn't like that too.
situation.
I love how
And Apple,
they hop in the alien ships. They're like, hey, I know how to fly this. It's just like the old one. And I'm like, well, that's convenient.
The entire movie was convenient.
I want to talk about the thing that I spoke about in the spoiler-free version, which is the spelling it out. And I just want to give a couple examples here.
Please do.
Of when it's like, hey, you almost killed the two pilots. It's like, hey, you almost killed him. Hey, you almost killed him. Hey, you almost killed me. And then he watches a video of himself almost killing the other guy in that stupid plane thing. And I was like, wow, we really had to spell that out. And then when Data, Brent Spiner,
Yes.
when he was in the coma, and the guy's like, I can't believe it's been 7,300 days since you went into a coma. Then
That's when Joel
up.
laughed. Joel laughed at that one.
Yeah.
But then he wakes up and he's like, how long have I been out? Which would have been a perfect place to put that number, but instead he does it before while he's in the coma to talk to the audience.
I love in the same vein when Will Smith's son goes into the White House to meet the president,
Right.
and on the wall right in front of the Oval Office is a painting of Will Smith in his full army getup. And I go, that's probably not going to be in the White House.
No.
And then so he walks in and he talks and everything. Walks out. A reporter says, "Hello, son of former colonel who died 10 years ago in a plane crash."
Yes. Seeing as your dad died in a test flight,
Yes.
how do you feel about flying out of this airbase named after him? What? Wait, what?
Like they want to do so much exposition here, and that's why you don't feel like you're part of this world. You don't feel the threat. You don't feel the threat because this movie has about a 40-minute buildup to nothing. Judd Hirsch is kind of in trouble.
Oh, man.
4 billion people die in this movie.
Yeah, there's
4 billion.
Oh, well, yes. So many people die.
And it's just like, hey, let's just tell one-liners.
Yes. Well, the fact that, once again, we're full spoiling here, the fact that they kill off Vivica A. Fox on the top of a hospital,
Which I'm fine with.
but then they let Judd Hirsch live, even though he's in a tidal wave in a dinghy, and yet he's still okay. I was like, I don't see this.
It's so they could give him that plot on the bus.
Yeah, I mean, he's
With the
more
kids.
likable.
and that
That's all
could
there
have
is to
been
it.
anyone else. That could have been anyone else.
It shouldn't have been in the movie.
But then they start throwing characters at us that I was like Floyd.
You guys are taking this way too seriously.
Who's Floyd? Who was Floyd?
Wait, who's Floyd?
Floyd was the dude who was right in the back of the van he was right in the back of the truck at the beginning when we went to Africa with, what's his name? The main guy. Wait, I can't think of
Levinson.
it.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum. He's right in the van with him. Then he happens to go up in the ship. Then he happens to become a fighter. And the whole time I'm like, who are you, Floyd? Why are you here?
I think it was Jeff Goldblum's nephew in real life, and he just wanted to be in a movie, like his uncle. Because he was served as a nerdy character who would hopefully overcome something.
I guess.
Everything was lifeless. There was no chemistry. There was the whole story between Will Smith's son and some other guy. We'll just call him Liam Hemsworth because that's what he is.
Yeah.
And my parents died. They dropped me off and then they died somewhere 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And the end. Can we talk about the end? They were trying to draw the mother brain out.
Before we get to the end,
okay.
Were any of you surprised that first alien ship was friend and not foe?
Of course not.
They projected that so far ahead that I was like, okay, why don't we just go talk to that? Let's go talk to that.
And the president, I love it. Nuke him. Nuke him.
Yeah, it's like, let's do this. And I don't know, it just annoyed me. And then on top of that, they say, hey, we have this planet where we're teaching people to fight the aliens. I thought for sure that they were going to bring those aliens to Earth to help fight the aliens, and the other aliens were going to...
That's for the sequel, Joel.
Well, that's what I thought. I thought it was going to be the other aliens coming in to help us, and then it was going to be like this universal Independence Day.
Okay, so for anyone... okay.
That's because they're saving it
so
for the next.
the queen from Aliens, but done way better in Aliens, escapes. She has her own shield at the end. She escapes the blast. It ends like the first movie, and then she escapes.
She chases a school bus.
She chases a school bus.
For no reason.
Because actually, she has a goal in mind to get that little orb. It's not on the school bus, and she knows it.
Yeah.
She's chasing the school bus because she's mad.
Yeah.
And why? To give Judd Hirsch more screen time?
I guess.
For Jeff Goldblum to go, she's getting closer.
I got to get that gangly guy.
No, like seriously, though, watching a giant alien run through the salt flats chasing a school bus was not amusing, right?
You are giving Roland Emmerich so much credit for trying to be funny. No, he's not. He tries to be a good filmmaker.
No.
Go back and watch his last 20 years of movies.
But I don't have to. All I need to see is the original Independence Day and see that this is sequel nonsense.
No. Nope.
It was funny. She's running through a desert chasing a school bus. That's funny.
That's not funny.
I didn't see you.
Where's the humor?
I didn't see you smile except for maybe when Joel smiled.
It was so stupid that I had to start laughing. And can we also agree that it's kind of sad that President Pullman sacrificed himself for no reason?
For no reason.
There was no reason. Like it didn't help anything. And I went, well, that was kind of pointless.
Wait, how was it for no reason?
He shaved his face for this?
Wait, how was it for no reason? Somebody had to fly the fake transmitter out somewhere.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the ship was
he was meant to kill Mother Brain.
Yeah, but she didn't die. So he didn't do anything.
Don't worry.
No,
he'll be back in the sequel because Brent Spiner was back and he'll be asleep for 7,300 days.
He brought the ship down, though. He exploded the ship.
Yeah, but they could have done that anyway.
I can't believe you found this movie tolerable in the least.
You know,
I've seen
it's a sequel to Independence Day. That's what it is.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to jump back on Joel's side on this one. There's a scene when Air Force One is trying to propel out of all these flames.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
And I'm watching that back in 1996.
I'm going to make you defend the original Independence Day.
I will do it all day against this movie.
Jacob, I'm sorry, but you're dead wrong.
And Air Force One just barely beats these flames. Yes. In fact, it is engulfed in them at one point. And if you didn't hold your breath at that point... Yep. Like you're not a human being.
Which every time
this movie had none of that.
No,
there was
every time Liam Hemsworth was sitting there going, trying to pull up on whatever. I just thought to myself, I'm not worried at all because you're the hero and you're going to survive.
Yes,
it was just dumb. Like it really was just dumb.
Yeah, it was very dumb. But
it's not as dumb as the original. The original had.
You guys just keep trying to explain something that's not going to be explained. You're not going to go back and, like I said, Evil Dead 2 before. Like you don't like sit there and critically analyze. Well, why did this happen?
Well,
why
I
did this
watch
happen?
Evil Dead 2 once a year. I will never, ever watch this movie again.
Not even our sleepover party?
I'm not saying they're just as...
No. I'll watch Zoolander 2 at our sleepover, and I will not watch this movie.
I'm not saying it as a comparison of equal goodness. That's not it at all. I'm saying...
On its own. It's a terrible movie.
No, I'm saying to Evil Dead 2. Like, I'm not saying Evil Dead 2 is an example. It's just as good as Evil Dead 2. I'm saying it's just the same type of nonsense that you have to just accept it's nonsense.
At no point did Jeff Goldblum... Because he actually could have hammed it up more. He could have been like... If, like you're saying Evil Dead 2, groovy. Groovy.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah.
They did tons of that crap. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So, like, Mother Brain explodes on the school bus, right?
I love that she's
and all
Mother Brain.
All the goo goes on the school bus, and they turn on the windshield wipers, and they're all standing there.
That's comic relief. That's not camp.
Yes.
That is total camp.
Okay.
No.
The fact that you don't understand what camp is concerns me.
I do understand camp. You guys are thinking that the movie is taking itself more seriously than it is.
It is.
It's not. Jacob, no one is taking it seriously.
They're not making a sequel to the biggest movie of 1996 to be campy.
Let's put it to
They
a
want
vote.
this movie to make $1 billion, and they will not make it camp.
Maybe they didn't do it on purpose. It's irrelevant to me. It's still camp.
Let's take a quick vote. Is this camp? Raise your hand if you think it is.
Me,
Jake didn't even raise his hand.
Jake didn't raise his hand.
I don't have to raise my hand.
If you don't think it's
your
camp.
game.
Raise your hand. Okay, we win.
Oh, wait, look, no one can see you raised your hand.
We raised our hand.
There's no evidence
Both Joel
of
and
that.
I,
The motion
for
is
the record.
passed.
There's no proof of that.
So, okay, so we've gone on probably enough about this movie. I think it's one of those that people are going to see if they want to, but honestly, if you listen to us, I think you need to know that it's kind of a waste of time. Don't spend like big money on it.
Which we did.
Yeah, you could rent it if you really want to see it, but don't spend a lot of money on it.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time recommending.
If you like this movie, I mean, I love you guys. I love the listener. But if you like this movie, probably don't come up and talk to me anymore or at all. Like,
Well,
we don't have a lot in common.
Whereas on the other hand, if you come to me and tell me about this movie, I'll just be like, "Oh, honey,"
little pat on the head.
Oh, honey.
You lick your thumb and
Which
watch their face.
The lady next to me, she was enjoying it. I did this strange.
Oh, is she okay?
Well, I don't know, but she giggled a couple times. She giggled at the jokes they wanted you to giggle at, and she actually gasped.
Oh, all
a couple
the campy
times.
moments.
And I just kind of went, "Oh,
It is campy.
oh, honey,
Like when Jeff Goldblum puts on the chainsaw on his sawed-off hands.
Ruby."
That might as well have happened.
Yeah.
You're a disgrace to Evil Dead 2.
Which I'm not even an Evil Dead 2 fan as much. I'm more of an Army of Darkness guy, but that's beside the point. But that's Ultra Camp as well.
That's Ultra Camp.
So that's our short review of Independence Day Resurgence.
I can keep going.
No, we could, but I think we need to cut it off.
Bless you, Will Smith, for not doing this movie.
It was smart of him not to.
It would have been a different script if he was there, though.
No.
It would have been a different script, but it would have just had him in it.
It wouldn't have been a different script. It would have been him swapped out with his son.
Yes.
Exact same movie.
Or he would have been the president,
He could have been the president.
which she lasted for 4 scenes.
Yeah, Celia Ward. Sorry.
No, they would have put him out in the action, probably.
No, it was a mistake. Like, this whole movie was just a mistake. It is exactly what I feared. It is a cash grab.
I mean, obviously, it was made for the broadest audience possible. It's accessible to anyone.
Broad, like weight, like size. Like, what are you saying here? I think this movie will bomb globally. It'll probably do well because it did pander to China a little bit.
It's going to do well, yeah.
But I don't know, after Brexit.
That's true. Does anyone have money anymore?
Yes. But thank you for listening to our review. We're going to leave you with these thoughts, and you can make your own decision on your own. This has been Baconsale. What it comes down to.
It all comes down to this. Jake.
It all comes down to this.
Jake.
It all comes down to this.